Hey everyone, Oz Konar here with Business Lending Blueprint. I have another guest interview today. I have JJ, who's a part of my community. JJ was just telling me that she started with the Blueprint. You said late February, right?
Yes.
Awesome. How is it going so far?
Really good, really good. It's given me access to some lenders that have helped me with some startups that has been really productive. And I think I'll continue to see growth from that.
Yeah, let's talk about that product, JJ. It's not really known in the industry, not just alternative lending, but in general, like the concept of startup funding. What kind of feedback are you getting from people that you're talking to when it comes to that product?
Well, it gives them the ability to start a business that their bank turned them down. SBA was also not an option. The dollar amounts were too low. And I did direct them to try and find community resources. There's two gentlemen specifically that I'm working with right now that are going through the startup process, and they don't need a whole lot. One needed 20K. The other one is working on his credit now. He needs 40K. And that isn't a fit for a lot of programs out there. And so I moved them over to, and well, the one I did, and we've since closed on him. So he's getting ready to launch his business this month. So it's pretty exciting. And then the other gentleman, he'll be ready probably next month I'll take him over.
Great. Yeah, that's super exciting. Like you said, a lot of these people do not need $500,000 or $1 million to $2 million, right? Sometimes they need 10 grand to 40 or 50 grand to launch their business, which is a big problem in the lending industry. So if you go to a bank and ask for that amount, the collateral and the time required, sometimes it's not even worth it, knowing that you're probably not going to get approved. So what's your background, JJ, if you don't mind sharing?
Well, I've had a couple of businesses. I'm also a licensed realtor here in the state of Arizona. And I've been in the corporate world as well, doing marketing and communications. That's been a while now, about 10 years that I left that life, and have had a few businesses since then. I picked this, the small business to mid-sized business lending, because I'm comfortable talking to those types of clients. And I think there's a huge opportunity to help people, and I won't turn anyone away. I don't care how small the deal is. I want to just help those folks get the funding that they need. And those small deals eventually lead to bigger ones. They lead to referrals. So one deal that's very small could end up netting a lot more down the road. So I keep my options open for everyone.
Yeah, well, that's your experience speaking as an entrepreneur for sure, right? Some people just focus on what they can get today. But the real secret to the gold mine is like helping that person with his or her $20,000, and that person starts. Well, guess what? They're going to need more funding, and to you, because when you own multiple businesses, I own multiple businesses. Funding is always something top of the mind, right? So they need that, and in this day and age, it is not easy to find a trusted advisor whom they can reach out and who's going to do the right thing by them. A lot of people are just after the points they can charge the client and whatnot. So yeah, that's why I love the concept of no deal is too small, because at the end of the day, you're helping someone start a business, and that business will need funding. So I think to me, it just makes perfect sense on a great strategy, actually build your Rolodex of clients for sure. So you've done multiple things, and you got rid of your corporate job, just like I have done in the past. Like we both climbed the corporate ladder. So we can definitely relate to each other's story. What made you choose this industry? Although I'm sure you had a lot of other opportunities and options to choose from. So you mentioned small business. Obviously, there's a big opportunity. Why do you think this is currently a great fit for many people out there?
Well, I think there are a couple different factors, and some of this is based on just my experience with other businesses and with real estate. Real estate has become a nightmare to generate leads. This opens up a whole world of different ways to generate leads. You can knock on doors, which I do sometimes, or paid lead programs. You don't have to do that, but I'm working right now on my LinkedIn to start using the process that you've described with. I think that'll that'll help generate some opportunity down the road. It may take a while, but that's all right. I'm in it for the long haul. The other thing that's really interesting about this, again, just compared to what like real estate and a couple other businesses I've owned, you have to be in that city to do it. Well, I have ties to Minnesota and I want to go spend time there as well as stay in Arizona. So I can do this from anywhere. While I'll build up my network here in Arizona, I can also build up a network back in Minnesota and nationwide. So that's to me very appealing. And because we can work nationwide, I mean, the opportunities are limitless. I think if you just treat people right, keep working your program, it's almost impossible not to be successful. And we have so many great lenders too, you know.
Sure. Yeah, that's important too. But the one thing that you said that many people might not really notice is that we're getting a lot of people from real estate industry and the mortgage industry because of what you just said, right? It was already difficult. It is even more difficult right now. And then you're stuck to a location. The usual mantra of real estate: grow your roots in this place and make contacts and network and know everyone. That's awesome. But I mean, how far are you going to take it, right? Then you don't have the location freedom. You kind of build a business knowing that you're stuck in that area. And I know my realtor, for example, responsible from taking care of my properties. One thing that the guy barely can take a week off, and he can't, even if he turns off his phone, people are kind of calling him and want to meet him in person and all that stuff. So if that's your calling, obviously go do it. But if you already chose to be an entrepreneur, why not, follow that same endeavor at a better position and do it anywhere you want, pretty much. And we truly do mean that. And I think you can attest to it. You can help clients in any state, and no one is asking you to meet them in person. You're not taking out to lunch meetings, or you're not showing homes. And I'm not trying to compare real estate to this, obviously totally different things. And both of them can provide great lifestyles. It's just, which one do you want to do? And I think it's important for people to see the difference before they make a decision. If they're in the real estate right now, for someone to kind of give them the wake-up call that, hey, you might end up making a lot of money doing real estate, but at some point you're going to question whether you want to live in that same space for a long, long time. Does that make sense?
That's correct. Yes.
All right. And well, short after you joined, you seen some success. Obviously, I got the emails in regards to your success. Let's talk about like what products you funded and how did you help out clients?
Well, that goes to the group and helping a startup. I've closed one deal since February. It was a small one, the 20K one, but hey, it's a start. That's all. I just want to see progress. And I have a couple others in the pipeline as well. So it's all good.
Perfect. What's one thing that you're really enjoying about the blueprint? I want to get some customer feedback too. Some things that you enjoy, some things that you think that can be improved. So if you can talk about both of them, if any, that would be great.
Sure. Well, I think that the most important thing for me is the interactivity of the whole program. I can go out and do the training on my own at my own pace. And I've skipped some of the sessions despite your urging us not to. I did do a competitors program and found it lacking in the areas where going back and being able to repeat things over and over again, and providing that lower end solution for the people that aren't as high dollar volume. The use of Facebook, I mean, come on, use the technology. This other group, they're just not using the technology to be able to go out and post a question on Facebook or just search through questions asked previously. I've done that a number of times to try and get answers to things. Having the coaching program as well, where I can actually access someone who understands the business, work with them on questions that I have, improving my process. The gaps, right now I don't really have any feedback on that because I'm really super happy with the program. I mean, I guess the only thing I would say is I don't know. I don't quite understand how I know if new stuff has been published on the platform. That might be helpful. And I don't know how you'd indicate that if that's an email. You don't want to bombard people with stuff, but that might be helpful.
We don't really do a lot of emails to our members, and that's on purpose because we don't want to keep badgering people with stuff.
Yeah.
Whenever there's something new, we do an email blast, and it's also posted into Facebook. Yeah, are there more things we can do? Sure, but then that's like a borderline. Do you want to do that or do you not want to do that? Because we don't want to kind of bother the experience that people go through. But yeah, usually if a new training comes up, we do an email blast. So you want to make sure that our emails end up in your inbox instead of the promotions tabs. And usually that's, if someone tells me I didn't get the email, that's usually what's happening, since these are like automatic emails that are done through like a blast fashion. So it might end up someplace else. Other than that, we don't have constant reminders or anything like that. For example, one thing that the company we're using for our content portal, they keep pushing me, hey, why don't you set up some notifications? If this student misses this training, they get like notifications. I'm like, no, these are not kids. Like, why we're gonna come after them for not watching one lesson, so they can figure it out on their own. So yeah, to your point, there's a lot that could be done. I think we want to keep it as minimal as possible. But yeah, I welcome that feedback. I appreciate you bringing it up.
Yeah, and I agree. I don't want to be bombarded either. I don't subscribe to that methodology for some businesses that are constantly hounding me. I mean, I have some, as you probably do too. I get 3 emails a day. I don't need 3 emails a day. So anyway, I think the experience overall has been great. The use of the technology, the e-learning platform works really well. And then having those attachments that you can download on the side as well, that's fantastic. And then again, the use of the social media and all the, I mean, you just go through the whole range from soup to nuts on building the business. And that's another thing that I didn't really get on the other side, the other group that I trained with. While they gave me a great, I mean, I don't mean to disparage them at all. It's I have a great list of lenders, but it's just that sort of beyond the initial training, what then? Because that was face-to-face training. Okay, so I have some PowerPoint slides, but I had to reach out to people to try and interact with them beyond the class, and that's not always successful. So again, the Facebook platform and tying everything together, having those Thursday meetings that you have as well, where people can come and ask questions, and you sometimes cover new lenders, that all of it, all good.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's usually, I think we have 3 other members who came through another group, like you mentioned. One thing is that I think that became like the common theme on the feedback is that human retention, we lose a lot. We can't retain everything we learn, right? Especially if you try to pack everything in like a 7-day thing, especially on a new business. So no doubt on the credibility of the information. I'm sure that's great. But the problem is, and you know, I study psychology and human behavior, as you already know. My background is in science, and I've been through 5 years of college, which I truly did not enjoy because of that methodology, right? Trying to push information in somebody's mind while the person is not, they can't take it anymore, and then whatever they don't take in is lost over time, right? And so when we're designing the LMS for the blueprint, one thing I wanted to say, all right, so we're going to have people with different learning modalities. Some people are super analytical. They're going to want to consume everything, like everything in there, like 5 times. And from testimonials, sometimes you hear that, right? Someone says, oh, I've been through the blueprint like 6 times, right? We have others who are quite distracted. So they watch a video and halfway through they get distracted. I said, well, we can't just ignore them. So we got to have like the, PDFs. And besides the PDFs, we have the Facebook group for those who are socially engaged and they want to be a part of the social community. And I did not know that Facebook would turn into like our Google, honestly. Like the people like you are using it that way, kind of searching for stuff within the search bar, right? My intention was like, all right, let's just put it in there so people can socialize and they get to know each other, help each other. I didn't know that we're going to have a knowledge base of that big that people would be using it. So that was created because of that reasoning, and hopefully we did a decent enough job that is helping people. But yeah, I really, truly do appreciate your feedback. This is really, really important because I don't always get a chance to talk to each person one-on-one and kind of find out what they think about the program. Anything else you want to say to someone who's going to be watching this and maybe they're considering this business or even the blueprint? What would you tell them?
Well, I think that you have to trust Oz and his process. If you go through and follow the steps, it does work. And you hear it throughout the training and excuse me, from other folks. You do have to work it. It's not going to come without some effort, but it's definitely something that you can run your own business from home. And there truly is an opportunity to grow and build your business. And the other thing I find really appealing about it is that down the road, I can always sell this business. This is worth something. You're building a future position, an equity position in your business by building a book of business. I did that when I was doing real estate, I wanted that recurring revenue. So I started doing property management, and it's a lot of work, but guess what? Every month, whether I closed on a home or not, I had income coming in. And this is the same kind of opportunity. Anyway, though, I eventually sold that to move into this business because that had value. So
yeah, because once you build an asset, assets have value, right? So you built an asset. Right. Sure, it was a lot of work, but you built it. It has exactly. A dollar figure attached to it. It's valuable to somebody. They want to have that recurring income stream, and you can sell it. And in this industry, I've seen people selling the entire business. I've seen them sell the bits and pieces of it. Like they built an amazing LinkedIn profile with quality contacts. That's an asset. Some person builds a YouTube channel. That's an asset. You build a website with a lot of traffic on it. That's an asset. You build your customer base. So there is just a lot that we don't really talk about because like that's just in this industry, we're not really talked a lot about. I've done it myself too, but thank you for seeing that opportunity as an entrepreneur and a boss lady. But that's a massive opportunity, right? So you build something, give your time. Don't think of this as, oh, how do I get rich in 60 days? But think of this as a journey. Of course, make money along the way. But at the end, at some point, if you want to exit out, at least invest your time in a business that gives you that option. Most businesses, unfortunately, do not give you that option. You're kind of building yourself your own jail, pretty much, that you can't really get out. It might give you the lifestyle time being, but at the end, I mean, I don't know what the plan is, right? So it's always shaky. But yeah, so I don't want to keep you too long, JJ. Anything I can do for you? Any questions for me?
Not at this point, Oz. I'm just really enjoying the program, and I do thank you. I'm so glad that and actually it was someone else who went through the same program I went through. He recommended you guys to me. So. Oh,
that's awesome. Well,
that word gets out.
Yeah, we're grateful to that person, and your open-mindedness to see this through. Great to have you in the community. I guess I talked to you on the Thursday's call.
Yeah, thanks, Oz. I do appreciate it.
Take care.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.